I got to drive an MGB. (1965) MGB convertible. I rented it for a day, took it out for a spin and drove on the long and winding roads on the levees and dikes, and made a stop here and there to visit some old towns. It was a lot of fun. And here are some of my thoughts of the MGB. First and foremost, I think it's very much comparable to the discount sports cars that you can buy today. Cars such as the Mazda MX-5. Because these cars say speed doesn't necessarily equal sportiness. Sportiness is also a car that looks sporty, that has an open top and has good driving dynamics. And the MGB checks all these boxes. In many aspects, driving the MGB is much like driving an early 2000s Nissan Micra, but every aspect of it is worse. Driving an MGB, in its basic sense, is not all that different than driving a modern day car, but that's where the comparisons stop, because everything around it requires effort. The clutch is fairly light, the grabbing point is somewhere in the middle, but that's about it, because the shifter is heavy. You need to slam those 4 gears, not 5, not 6, just 4. You also need to plan ahead when you try to brake. I got to learn that very quickly at the first intersection. The car doesn't have power steering, so you need to turn the big steering wheel to get it around the corner. And things like a radio and air conditioning are just unnecessary options. Also, what the hell is a choker? This car is meant to be driven with an open top. Now, I have to admit that I've never driven a car with an open top before, and now that I have experienced it, it's not like I'm running back to the dealership to get a convertible myself. It's a great thing, but I can live without it. One of the first things I noticed when I got in is how cramped the interior is, or how it feels like. But as soon as you remove the open top, then the car starts to get its full effect. Plus the visibility is tremendous. Now the engine. The car is powered by a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder with dual carburetors, and it should crank out 100 horsepower. But is it fast? No. The rental company advised us not to drive this car any faster than 90 kilometers an hour, and that is not some unnecessary advice. Throughout the day we only drove for about 5 minutes on the highway, because driving at 90 kilometers an hour or even going over it is no fun. Then you're coming across a point where driving just becomes very unpleasant, because everything starts to shake, rattle and roll, and the normal conversation between two people in the car starts to become a screaming contest. Merging onto the highway is just an endeavor that you might die. You get into the merging lane, you step on the gas, you look into your way too much in-zoomed rear view mirror that makes a freight truck 5 kilometers behind you look like it's about to eat you, and all hell starts to break loose. The car shakes, rattles, shivers, and all the bits and pieces start to come off, and you think you're about to die, and it turns out you're only driving 70 kilometers an hour. This thing is just meant for back road cruising, and that's what it does best. And with all these things I just mentioned, I mean, it sounds like I'm getting real negative about this car. But isn't this what driving is all about? I'm honest here. I've never driven a car that I felt so connected with driving and the road than this car. The open top, the sense of speed that you get from the wind blowing in your hair, the effort that you have to put into the steering, the braking and the shifting. It all makes it worth it. I mean, you cannot compare it to today's car, because then it is utter trash. But if you see this car and view it in its own right, then this is one of the ultimate cars to drive if you love driving. Everybody should drive an MGB, MGA, or an MG in general once in their life. Here is an important message right now. If you live in the Netherlands or plan to visit it and you have a day off, it's a beautiful day and you want to drive a classic car, then go over to www.weloveoldtimers.nl. It's a classic car rental company with a wide variety of classic cars, including the aforementioned MGB convertible, but they also have a wide variety of Volkswagen vans, Beetles, an old Porsche and a Ford Mustang. Open all day, every day, and when you rent a classic car right now, you'll get a free lunch package along with it. www.weloveoldtimers.nl, located in the small town of Hoogblokland, Dorpsweg 132B.